I think for our next topic, we should talk about Alexis Nyers and the fact that her husband actually matched with you on Hinge.
Why are you exposing me like that?
Seriously, Karina, come on. Let's talk about it.
I don't want to.
Why?
Because what if she comes across this?
Well, we're taking... I don't know
And
what to
she's
tell...
on the fucking wall. That's so weird of me.
I don't know why you're being so...
Because that's bird behavior.
Well, you're a bird.
Okay, you're a cunt, actually.
Okay.
And I don't even want to do the podcast anymore, honestly.
All right, then let's just not. I'll just take this fucking down and then we're done. No.
I hate you.
All right, well, let me just...
I didn't want you to actually do that.
Well, whatever.
Anxious is over. Fuck you. I'm done with you.
Okay. Oh, well, we've got mine. We'll share the community one. Okay. So
I'm not touching my phone. I'm so pissed off right now.
Okay.
And we will address it.
All right. Well, aren't you just so glad we had our little squabble? But look at what we've come up with now. Isn't this design just so much more effective?
I love it.
It's so rainbow-tastic.
And it doesn't clash with my outfits as much as the yellow wall did.
But we still have yellow in there. So
yeah, it's just not the tan bleh.
Right. Ooga booga booga! Welcome to the Halloween official second season, episode 1 of the Anxious podcast. My name is... Do it.
My name is Merpy. Hefner.
Okay, hold on.
We are Merpy and Karina Hefner. We are married.
Yes.
And we're not divorcing ever. There's no prenup, no divorce. We're together forever.
Yes. We're like...
And if you ever think of having a future with me, you're also having a future with Merp. So...
Do you still want to do the thing, though, where we mouth the words?
My name is Merpy.
And my name is Karina Hefner. And you're watching Anxious. All right. Yay, you guys. We're back. I know. You guys have been waiting for us to get back in here.
For real.
To record. And you guys have no idea how lucky you have it because we are sacrificing our Halloween Eve.
I have to burp.
All right, well, let it out. Let's just get all of your bodily functions out of the way. Yawn, burp, shit, and fart all at the same time.
I just had to burp.
Okay, well, she did. Baby had a burp, and...
Okay.
Oh, what?
I just ate candy. That's not really nice to do.
Sorry. Well, I had some Kit Kats, you know. You know the game. No shame in our game.
Diet starts tomorrow, November 1st.
Is truer words never spoken for the rest of our lives.
We say that every single night we eat something.
Just to get us started, I really did just want to take a moment and get a little serious with you guys. So the first thing I wanted to let you guys know is just how fucking thankful I am for every single one of you for the past few months who have been showing so much love and so much support to us. We're obviously a little bit of a ragtag duo. We've got a little bit of a cult following, and
yeah,
it just...
you queefies are aggressive.
You're not just aggressive, you love hard, you eat harder, and you drink till you black out. And we wouldn't want you guys any other way, okay?
Exactly.
And for those of you who may or may not know, I have been now almost officially 6 months sober. Today marks 175 days. Right.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I know.
I'm so happy and proud for you.
And so I really
love you.
Well, thank you. I love you too, Karina. You have been the biggest part of my story. Hey, if you can hang out with her and stay sober, you can stay sober at any point in your life, okay? This right here is the walking trigger. And
shut up.
It's her bright and shiny personality that gets everyone through the door and then into rehab. But, you know, God sent her here for a reason, you know? She's my best friend, and I love her. Mm-hmm. And I just really wanted to say that because of being sober for the last 6 months, some of my most favorite activities that brings me the most joy now is whenever I'm out in public, if I am at a bar or I'm at a party, and to have you guys come up to me and recognize us from our podcast. You guys always say the nicest, most incredibly sweet things. And being sober, my relationship with going out just looks a little different these days. So getting to have one-on-one conversations with the people that watch and listen to us, it just makes me so happy. And there might not be a ton of us, but there's enough of you to keep us going. So I just wanted to say I love you guys.
When you guys come up to me too. And
Right.
I do love you guys too.
You guys know more than anyone, our self-esteem's in the toilet. So anytime we get a compliment, it's quite literally like popping a perk for a couple hours.
Literally. I'm like, popping it, bitch. I'm smoking it off that foil when you guys come up.
I'm like, you bring the spoon, I'll bring the lighter.
That's the best high of my life right there.
I know, for real. It just makes me so happy. I have been in this game for years, okay?
Yeah.
And
I mean, hey, me too.
yeah,
Even though I haven't gotten sober, but
well, no, the game of social media.
I've been
you know?
drinking for almost 11 years now. Isn't that depressing?
Happy birthday! Her drunk anniversary's coming up.
That is so disgusting.
It's okay.
It'll
you know?
be the summer 2024 is when No, I'm such a liar. I just did my math so fucked up.
I feel like I started drinking. My first drink was a Mike's Hard, and that was 8th grade. So
My first was a sip of a beer at a park, and it was my summer going into 8th grade. So it was summer 2012. I'm sorry. So actually, I don't know my math.
It's okay. It's
But
okay.
I dropped out of high school.
It's all semantics. Okay,
I'm just kidding. I still graduated.
Right. The point is, what I'm trying to say is that I genuinely.
Do you remember your first time drinking liquor?
The first time I drank liquor was Fireball, and I took 11 shots.
Mine was Bacardi, and I did it with no chaser at a party with like a shit ton of like 20-year-olds, and I was 14.
Yeah, I didn't black out. I didn't have any bad reaction.
Black out. I had no idea alcohol, like liquor, tasted like that. And I remember like everyone was passing around the bottle, and I took like a big gulp of it, and I was like, call a fucking ambulance. I can't feel my throat. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God, really? I literally was like, are we drinking nail polish remover? Like, what the fuck is this? But little did I know that would turn into an addiction. So
right, you know, for me,
if I could have gone back in time and not gone to that party, I would have. So
I will say, the first time I drank alcohol, my teeth went numb. I felt like I was floating.
How old were you?
14. And I thought I was cool because I was with the senior theater kids. And
not the fucking.
But I will say
we don't relate on the theater,
but no,
at all. But
the popular kids would also come to those parties because one girl was a theater kid, but her brother was a football player. So the world.
That's a really nice combination for high school.
It was like High School Musical meets the Zandemic.
A Zandemic is crazy. You dabbled in Xanax, right?
I did, but it just doesn't do it for me.
I've done Xanax. No, you know what? One of our friends, I won't mention her, she did give me a few of her Xanax like 2 years ago, and I would take them just to watch Dance Moms and binge eat. Like, it was
Which is so stupid.
I know.
What is the point of that?
There's like, I think 2 other times where I did Xanax and completely blacked out. And then one of the times I woke up in my ex-boyfriend's bed and was like,
must have been the drug.
Up for a few days. Why the fuck am I here? But whatever. Anyways.
Well, you know, I just wanted to touch on the fact that, you know, now that I have been sober for 6 months, I'm definitely not out of the woods with it by any means. I still have my days. It honestly can be very hard, specifically lately. It's been crazy, you know?
With gay pride and Halloween and everything.
Right.
And then you're lucky you really lucked out on my birthday this year, which is really fucked up, but at least you won't have that trigger, so.
I'll be upset. I wanted to go. I still might appear in a wheelchair, but.
Well, Nick and Skylar are going now.
Well, why can't I still come?
You can come.
I'll be pushed around in my wheelchair, and I'll be the life of the party.
You're going to come to Phoenix in a wheelchair?
What's wrong? Oh, okay, ableism. Now I'm paralyzed. I can't come to the party.
It's just out of character for you.
Well, I want to be there. I might be really injured, so I didn't want to say it to you because I was like, let's not get your hopes up. But
that would be fun if you came.
It would be hilarious.
I'm not ableist, okay? Before any of you start accusing me.
Now that I've been sober for 6 months, I've had my hard days, I've had my good days, I've had my better days. Throughout the last 6 months, I've definitely felt an ease when it comes to getting sober. But one of the things in my life that I love more than anything now that I don't partake is doing this podcast. I love having a creative outlet. There's been a lot of stressful situations I've been in within the last 6 months, and this has been something that I've really missed doing because it's something that brings me so much joy. So I wanted to say all that to say I'm so happy and grateful that so many of you have been so nice and supportive. I'll never forget when I was 10 years old and I made my first YouTube video, and
I wish we were friends.
I
I don't even
know.
live here yet.
I want to say probably I would get like 30 views and I would be so
Gagged.
excited. Gagged!
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm going to Hollywood! So,
Shut up.
although we're not getting millions of views, it's the fact that there are even just 100 of you out there that like us, let alone the amount of people that like our Instagram pictures and leave comments on these podcasts. And
Yes.
it genuinely has been such a driving force for me to continue to be on the straight and narrow because this is something I really want to continue to do. So the reason, for example, that we did decide to redecorate the set is mainly because I felt like last season's set was a good starting point. It introduced people to the idea that we were just two drunken girls in Hollywood getting DUIs and doing cocaine. But obviously times have changed, okay? Last year, I was struggling to get clean, and now that I'm here, we're on the Rainbow Road, baby. And although...
Speak for yourself. I'm still trying to say goodbye to that yellow brick road, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, more like the white snow. The point is, though, is similarly to the podcast Frenemies, I would say Karina and I, our paths have diverged. They've come back together, but right now I would say we're just in two little different stages. So I liked the idea of the contrasting colors, you know, the masculine, the feminine, the clean and sober, the drunk and dirty.
The piss yellow drunk.
So
The orange for Suboxone.
right,
The
right.
pink/purple for lean, and then the blue for UV blue. Maybe even an oxy dabbled in there.
Okay.
And then the white, of course, is cocaine.
I'm like, well, there goes our sponsors for today's episode. But I definitely wanted to revamp because I felt like I was in a different place. I felt like it was time to upgrade. And I will say we took a break from filming, and I think that now we
needed that break too.
We did,
though.
you know?
We needed a little rebrand. Who doesn't need a little rebrand?
Right, we had to take
I
some
want to
time
rebrand
away.
like once a month, but
Right.
this was a really nice rebrand.
Quite inconvenient for me, I will say, because
Okay.
right when I'm trying to plot out like the archetype of Karina, you're like, well, I want to be mysterious this month. And I'm like, all right, well, everyone should unfollow you on fucking Twitter then. Fuck.
I know, okay.
She's so mysterious.
I'm just accepting the fact that I'm not mysterious like most Scorpios. I have a big fucking mouth. I word vomit. I trauma dump.
But the thing is
I'm not perfect. Okay?
I have met now several people over the last few months since I've started to go out again as a sober person who, when I meet them and they tell us that they watch our podcast, most people, if not all of them, not only found us through you, but they had nothing but nice things to say about you. And most
Me?
people, yes,
Thank you.
I would
Thank
make
you,
the
guys.
argument that people are showing up for you. And they might be staying
Thank you,
for
Queefy.
They might be staying for me. But
Yeah.
appearances are a little, you know, what's the word? Appearances can be deceiving. They might look at you and be like, oh, we really want to hear her talk. And they're like, who's that girl she's with? And then they meet me and they're like, oh, he's not that bad. But that's why I need you. I need you more than anyone to do this with. And not to mention, now that I am sober, I can imagine I'm gonna be a little boring these days, so I need a little bit of some spice to bring to the table that we can talk about fun things, you know? And then when you're ready to get clean and you're all ready to put your days behind you, we're gonna be right here, sitting here together. And I'll be there for all your withdrawals
Don't
and your
hold your
detox.
breath, babe.
I won't.
That won't happen for a while. I do someday, of course. I have high hopes, but I have a few pipe dreams laid out in my mind.
I won't lie. I could already picture all the people starting to type something nice to you. Okay, back to You can do it, Never mind.
I'll get there.
But,
yeah.
Okay, so I touched on that. And I did kind of want to mention really briefly, I know this is boring, you guys, but I'm just trying to get this out to update you. So I did want to say that obviously last year when I started this podcast, I was in the process of trying to quit drinking, but it was honestly something that I felt like wasn't even in the realm of what I could be capable of doing. But I do feel like, you know, now that I've done it, life is still hard. It still has its days. There are still many different times throughout my week that all I can think about is, oh, fuck, I would fucking love a Xanax or an Adderall or a Percocet or a vodka shot. I just want to say all that to say, the podcast is still going to be fun. It's still going to be exciting because I'm still flawed, just like everyone else. And I just wanted to establish that, so currently I am almost 6 months sober and Karina is 2.5 days sober. And, you know, clocks can reset. And
well, I did smoke weed last night, so I'm like 2.5 days sober from alcohol, but that clock's definitely gonna probably reset starting Thursday or Friday. So
you know, I was in the same exact chair you're sitting in, you know, I literally and figuratively I've been in that chair.
Yeah.
And now I'm not. I'm in this chair, and that's okay. I needed the drugs when I needed them, and I still really, really, really wish I needed them right now, but I don't, and that's okay. I deep breathe, and I hit my vape, and that's as good as it gets for me. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There has been a fuck ton of things that have occurred in the last 6 months since we filmed last. So I did want to just touch briefly on May. So I know that the last episode we filmed, we were talking about going tubing. And what we didn't film was after we had my birthday. So that was actually my first sober birthday I've ever celebrated since I started drinking as a child. And getting sober and then having a birthday, I was so afraid that I was gonna wanna drink, but I just made a no alcohol policy and we went on a boat with my family. It was Karina, Nora, Mackenzie, and my parents. And when I tell you, you guys,
we had so much
fun.
I love tubing now.
At this point in both of our lives, Karina was still dating her Republican boyfriend who was supposed to have a boat, but he flopped on that account.
Stop.
So we had to spend our own money.
It was his friend that had a boat. It wasn't him.
We love him, but, you know, come on. You really dropped the ball there. Like, you had one job, and you didn't even fucking do it. But
shut up.
So you go on the boat, and it felt like, if you guys haven't experienced it, the day after tubing is quite literally...
It's like you had the most horrible, mean personal trainer who doesn't let you take any breaks. Like, your entire body is fucked up.
I was just gonna say...
I couldn't even pull myself really up on the tube for, like... 3/4 of the time. Like, I was on the verge of tears. Like, don't go yet. I'm not even on the fucking tube. My legs could kill someone, but my arms are worthless. I cannot use my arms for shit.
We were about to see Karina just floating face down. Like, all of her hair.
One time me and Sam were on the tube together, and, like, we were on it for, like, at least 5 minutes. Like, we are so competition driven. We both just would not let go. And we both were like trying to push each other off while we were like going like really hard onto the waves. And then finally, like, I was feeling myself let go. So I just looked at him and I went, farewell. And then I just let go. I just let go. And I like flopped off of it.
It was so cinematic. Tubing was A+, so much fun. You will feel like you got into a car accident the next week or so. But yeah.
It's worth it, definitely.
Moms with chronic pain, maybe junking on the tube. But going on it with my mom was pretty funny. What else happened to me? I guess you were just continuing to be in the relationship you were in at that time. So for those of you who don't...
I wasn't really doing much.
Right. So for those of you who don't recall, last year's season, Karina also had her own drug to quit, and his name was Noah with the boa. Right? Karina had found herself trying to leave her 4-year-long toxic relationship with her ex-boyfriend.
We're still in the same year.
Well, technically, we're in a new year. New season, new year.
Okay, last season, I was still struggling with it, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
So Basically. And unfortunately, there's no Suboxone for Noah. So you had a cold turkey, that one. But so basically, Karina last year, she was getting out of this relationship, begrudgingly so. And she didn't necessarily know that she was rebounding, but she did kind of, hit the wall and come back and forth. And she found herself in the arms of a new man. And
well, he wasn't even new in my life because before that, I was in love with him for like years before that. All of high school, we were neighbors. He's my best friend's older brother. So, yeah.
So, long story short, Karina starts dating this new guy. And then what ends up happening is June rolls around. Is June when you broke up with them?
Mm-hmm. Beginning of June.
Okay, so Karina breaks up with her boyfriend because she just realized she was still struggling with her feelings with her ex-boyfriend Noah, and she just needed space. And I think you just really wanted to figure yourself out.
Well, I also literally have not been single since I was 16.
Right.
Like, I was in 2 really fucked up relationships back to back. They both were 4 years.
Try and speak more into the mic, by the way.
I was in 2 fucked up relationships back to back for 8 years.
Yeah.
Like, both of them are 4 years each, and I just haven't been single since I was 16. So I just realized I needed to be single, and I don't need a boyfriend at all right now.
Period.
Or for a while. So,
Period.
unless, hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Someone might cross my path. It really is a good match with me, but right now, I am really content with being single. So
Right, good for you.
Yeah.
And for myself, the month of June, I went on my first vacation to San Francisco, and I had such a fun time. And that was the first time I've actually stepped foot in a bar when I had gotten sober. So it had been about 2 months. I went into a bar for about 15 minutes, which was kind of a lot for me at the time. I was very triggered, and then I left. And yeah, I had a really great first vacation, especially being sober. So that was my month in June. And I was still working at Starbucks, I can't really say it, but I just wanted to, off myself.
I met my friends Sammy, Mariah, and Zoe, which I love them. I've gotten really close with them. So I started hanging out with them. I started going out more. I did my teaser shoot in June, which was really fun. That was my first photo shoot I've ever done, and I killed it. So
Right, she was very nervous.
I was, but I love her. Like, she is such a good photographer. I love her work. She made me feel so comfortable. I couldn't have asked for like a better first photo shoot, honestly. So I had a lot of fun doing that photo shoot.
Right, and you looked amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No editing required. Am I right, ladies?
Exactly.
That was art.
Yeah, no, I loved that photo shoot.
I did too.
I killed it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Karina is definitely in like a full-blown goth era. And
I am. Yeah, I definitely am.
can you tell she's depressed? Don't check her wrist.
Hey, I haven't,
Oh,
gotten
come
a
on.
razor.
When was the last time you even did that to yourself?
when the day I broke up with Noah,
You punched or you hit, or what did you do?
I was cutting myself on my thighs.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well,
But I haven't done that since. And honestly, that was really out of character for me because I haven't even cut myself since like middle school before that, really. I think I've had a few relapses, like when I was 18, maybe 20, but he really knew how to get under my fucking skin. So
Right. Well,
yours too.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no shame. I still have the scars to prove it for my own little journey with that. But glad to know that is not on the table for me ever.
Well,
the most I'll do
neither,
is like
so.
bite my finger or something if I'm really.
Well, no one triggers me that much anymore, honestly,
Right.
to where I like freak out like that. So
Yeah, good for you.
just a little chemical imbalance in my brain, guys. So June was when I really earned my bi card.
Okay. And this is also a pretty big reason why we wanted to go with more of a queer background.
Yes.
Karina gets invited to a birthday party.
I
Now,
hope I don't look like Natalie Nunn from the side. When I'm doing it. Oh my god.
to make a long story short, I couldn't go to this birthday party on this particular night because I was trying to be sober and I just knew it wasn't going to be a good idea. So I stayed back, but Karina decided to go to this birthday, and she was freshly single. She wasn't with anybody at this point, and she runs
And I've
into
been dying to eat a pussy.
right,
so,
and she runs into a mutual friend of ours who
Yes.
I know very well, and I love this person. And Karina didn't really know them that well. They hung out sparingly a couple times.
But like in a group setting.
Right. But
yeah.
that person ended up actually being friends with the girl who's throwing the birthday party. So when you guys ran into each other, this girl FaceTimes me and she's like, oh my God, I'm with Karina. I'm so excited. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so exciting. And for the sake of the story, I'll refer to this friend as Beth. So Karina and Beth, they met up at this party. And like I said, they weren't that close of friends. And Beth FaceTimes me to show me that she's with Karina. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool and exciting. And then as the night progresses, this friend who hasn't really spent much time with you, but she watches our podcast on occasion.
So she already has an idea that I drink too much and that I can get a little crazy.
Wrong. She thought, based on this podcast, based on her social media, she just assumed that you were this cool girl. She just assumed you liked to drink, but she had no experience with what you're fully, truly like
in real life, not just the videos.
Right.
Like,
so to her, she had
false advertisement at its best, for sure.
I mean, in your defense, I don't know how this is false, but I mean, I guess.
I know. I've seen some horrible videos of me that people have taken of me when I've been drunk, and I'm like, why do people still invite me out? Like, honestly, like, what are you doing?
I mean, I relate.
I don't understand.
I definitely relate. I do feel like, though, that maybe because you're sober in these episodes, they kind of got this idea that you're sober like that's your personality all the time.
Yeah, true. Okay.
So Beth is with Karina, and Beth FaceTimes me first, and she's in a great mood. She's like, I love Karina. Oh my God. And then literally 15 minutes later, she FaceTimes me and she just goes, is she always like that? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what's going on? She was like, I don't know, Sam. It's just, she just, one minute she was fine. Then the next minute she's completely belligerent and she just got kicked out of this bar and she keeps calling her ex-boyfriend and then she screams at him on the phone and she goes, stop calling me! And then she hangs up and then she's like, I fucking hate him. I can't believe he keeps calling me. And then she's like, you just called
Which
him.
we're referring to Noah, not Blake.
Right.
Not my most recent ex.
Right.
Yeah.
So she keeps like playing phone tag with him. He would call her back. She would answer. She'd scream at him, stop calling me. And then they'd hang up. And then Karina would just move on with her night, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And then the night takes a turn because on the streets of Phoenix, now we won't disclose where.
No, we're definitely not at all. But
Karina decides to take her pants off. And
well, I was wearing a skirt, so I pulled my panties to the side. Like I'm getting dick. I'm like, I pulled my panties to the side and I took a squat and I peed, okay? Don't act like you've never pissed in public. We've all fucking done it drunk.
I did do it once.
And obviously when you're drunk and peeing, the piss takes like at least 2 minutes. Like it's like a long, lengthy, heavy piss.
Look,
so
I won't lie. There was a time when I was drunk a year and a half ago that I got so drunk, I peed on the side of the road in downtown Scottsdale where there were a bunch of people on the street. And then that was when Nora had to order me a cab because there weren't an Uber.
Cab?
And
they have those still?
And I got in the cab, and then we looked at the guy.
In New York?
I know. But I look at the guy, and I'm like, "How much is this cab gonna cost?" And he told me $100. And I just look at Nora and I go, "I'll pay you back." And then he just drove off with me in it. And then I did pay her back, so that debt was repaid.
That's horrible.
But. So she not only takes a squat once and takes a piss, quite literally like a broken fire hydrant. You do it 3 times she pees. And
hey, I'm a tank. And I drink, I'm sorry.
I'm like, I'm glad your body
Those white tea shots really get to you. I'll tell you that much.
So. And we're like white pea shots.
I know.
So she's just honestly spraying like a skunk, like literally just marking her territory.
I'm literally that video of that girl who's like squirting out of the car window, but that's me peeing.
So Karina essentially drowns the city of Phoenix, and there's a tsunami warning, and people have to get to high ground and find life jackets.
Everyone's getting like an alert to their phone, like an emergency alert. Girl pissing in public, tsunami warning.
Oh shit! So speaking of shit, I
did it. Thank you though.
Like then she took a dump too, just to make her night worse.
I didn't.
So Karina basically pees on the ground. Okay. We clarified she did not take a shit on the road. Okay. So basically Karina gets done peeing and then she takes her hair and she wipes her
I mean, it could reach.
Yeah, it probably did. Oh God. Basically Karina has to air dry. She waves her labias around and then she pulls her pants back up. And then this is when the night gets fucked up. Okay. As if none of that was bad enough. Karina, there's a girl there. So there's Beth, and then there's this new girl named Tiffany. And Karina and Tiffany, they have never met each other, but Tiffany knew you through the birthday girl.
Yeah.
So
and Tiffany was visiting too.
She was visiting. She had a really nice hotel room she was staying at. And she meets Karina, and she's so excited to meet Karina because she's heard so much about her. She's seen her all over social media. Similar to Beth, they both were so excited to meet you.
I know.
And they both got quite a taste of the roller coaster ride that would be Karina's teacups. And basically, Karina and Beth. So first Beth is calling me. She's very concerned for Karina. She's like, she's very drunk. She's fighting with her ex-boyfriend. I don't know what to do. But then I think Beth got a little wasted too after a while because, as we know, bad influence on this side of the room. And if there's one thing about her, if you're sober around her, boy, you will want to be having a drink. So Beth, a little later on in the night, she FaceTimes me and she's like, oh my God, me and Karina are having so much fun. And I'm like, oh my God, good for you. And then what ends up happening, which for me personally was a bit of a trigger, is Karina and this girl Beth, who I am very good friends with.
Gotta keep it close.
Karina, at this point in her life, she's known for a while that she wants to try something with a woman. I'm not against that. I am fully in support. I think a woman might not treat you as... I wouldn't say a woman will particularly treat you better than a man.
No, there's definitely lesbians and domestic violence.
We know some pretty fucked up fuck girls.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
But, you know.
We know a few community coochies, if you know what I'm saying.
Right. So I wanted you at the least to be able to have that experience with somebody, to know for sure if that was what you were into, and you can move forward with your life and, you know, potentially get engaged to a woman. Earn my
stripes.
Right, you know. Karina wants to say faggot really, really bad. So she knew she had one mission and she knew what she had to do. She had one chance and she took it.
Stop.
So basically...
Please stop. My eyes like twitching. I'm like, please shut up.
So basically, Karina and Beth and Tiffany are hanging out as a trio, okay? From Tiffany's perspective, she thinks she's just hanging out with Karina and this new girl she's never met before, Beth, and they're having a great time. And then somehow, some way, they get back to Tiffany's hotel room. Tiffany spent a lot of money on this hotel room. Tiffany spent a lot on just travel fare and just getting to Phoenix. And she just did all of this in support of the birthday girl, Christina. And long story short, Karina and Beth are in this hotel room. Tiffany, who I'm just gonna assume is just probably straight. Tiffany thinks they're having like a girls' night, like a sleepover, or I don't know what Tiffany thought, but
she
basically,
got a big storm coming.
Karina and Beth starts to kind of be a little bit flirtatious, I would imagine.
I'm pretty sure we were making out before we got back to the hotel room.
Okay.
Like we were like in a photo booth making out, I'm pretty sure.
Right. So
probably
Karina
feeling each other up. I wouldn't be surprised. Just being disgusting.
Oh my God, it's like my two sisters fucked. But anyway, it's fucking foul, but not the first time that's happened to me either, mind you. A lot of my close friends like to commit incest with each other.
Me too.
It's really wrong in my opinion.
I'm like, hey, we've even been guilty of it with each other.
Oh God, shut up.
We've never had sex, for the record, but we've definitely had like some really concerning make-out sessions for content.
And I'm sure we've gotten blocked by a lot of people for them. So the point is,
there's literally sorry, not to interrupt you. Did you see that most recent video from last year's Pride where the caption's trigger warning and it's just you grabbing my face and we're like
Hell
Full
no.
on all over each other.
Oh God.
Ew.
It's
We don't
always-
do that. Ever since he's gotten sober, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we stopped collabing.
Okay.
So basically,
We stopped making OF content. Okay.
so long story short, Karina starts to, I would almost imagine it's kind of similar to when a political party has an uprising, they essentially become a dictatorship. And
Okay.
So-
Yeah. Now you calling me a dictator? I kind of am, low key.
so Karina, in her full top era, just starts calling all the shots, okay? She's blacked out, her hair's ratted, she's got dry pee on her underwear, she had nothing to lose. And she kicks Tiffany out of Tiffany's own hotel room. She basically...
Guilty as charged.
She essentially tells Tiffany, quote, I just really want to be alone with Beth right now. And Tiffany, not knowing why, just immediately assumes it's because Karina hates her or has a problem
Which
with her.
isn't true. I love Tiffany.
So Tiffany leaves her own hotel. I mean, you cucked Tiffany, literally. Poor Tiffany.
I do have a habit of cucking people, okay? I'm sorry, but it's just me. It's who I am.
Hashtag justice for Tiffany. And so Tiffany leaves the hotel room, okay? And Karina and Beth just get to work. I mean, from what I heard, okay? And when I say work, I mean...
Mama's a freak. What can I say?
Karina clocked in for her tuna salad tossing shift at the fucking Olive Garden, okay? Karina goes to town on this girl. And how I know is because the next morning when Beth FaceTimes me,
Yeah.
Beth told me, and I quote, Sam, nobody, I mean nobody,
Oh my God,
has
stop.
ever talked to me that dirty before. Apparently it was
I
so...
do talk really fucking dirty.
It was so bad, she literally would not repeat it to me. Like, I, to this day, don't know what you said
I
to
don't
that
know
girl.
either.
She has sex with Beth, okay? Now, Beth does not reciprocate, okay? Beth made that very clear to me. Beth got her pussy munched, okay? Beth was doing no munching, okay? In Beth's defense, Karina was peeing all over the road. So Beth was a little nervous to, I guess, taste what you drank for lunch.
I'm not scared of a little piece, so I literally don't care.
Yeah, we should edit a golden shower over your head. But anyway, so meanwhile, Tiffany, while Karina's giving somebody a nut, Tiffany, meanwhile, is wandering the streets of Phoenix, crying her eyes out. She ends up at Christina's doorstep, okay? Christina comes home drunk as well, and Christina finds Tiffany sobbing on her doorstep, and she asks Tiffany, oh my God, what's going on? Are you okay? And
Tiffany's hotel wasn't like, it was up the street from Christina's.
okay,
So.
all right, that makes sense. I always wondered, like, oh my God,
it
how
was
many
like
miles?
right around the corner. So.
Okay. So long
Yeah.
story short, Tiffany tells Christina, honestly, like, it's fine. Like, I know it's nothing personal, but like, I don't know. There's just something about like what Karina said. It just like brought me back to middle school. That's all. And like, she fully thought like she was being not included at the lunch table.
literally re-triggered her childhood
You
trauma. That
did.
is so fucked up.
You were literally her middle school
I'm a
bully.
walking trauma response. I honestly believe I am. Like, it's fucked up.
So-
I can't help it, okay?
Tiffany was pretty upset with the whole situation and honestly didn't even seem to be that mad at you about what happened.
Yeah.
She just felt really triggered. I mean, you brought something out
And
of poor
probably
Tiffany.
like rejected. Like, she felt like I was like, I didn't care for her.
Right.
I'm
And,
sure,
and keep
so-
in mind too, she never met you.
But when I'm horny, I am on a mission.
Yeah, she
So-
is. Okay. I said this and I'll say it
He's
again.
witnessed it, like, not even. Well, he wasn't there that night, but there's been times where we've been out and I'll just disappear for like an hour, then just pop back up at the club. And
I
then
mean-
everyone will be like, "Where were you?" And I'm like, "I just had sex." What do you mean? Where was I?
I'm just
What do
saying,
you mean?
if we are living in the Sims simulation, whoever is controlling this girl right here has been clicking woohoo on every fucking guy 6 feet within her range. I mean, there is you could be performing heart surgery.
Chill. My body count's only gone up like 2 this year. I'm a repeat offender. I do hook up with people I've already hooked up with.
Yeah, her body count is not the problem here. It is the just amount and volume of the amount of sex she has with people is the concerning
But
part.
honestly, that's not even that true. I was honestly having more sex when I was in a relationship with Noah than I am now that I'm single. Honestly, like there was a point where I went like exactly 3 months without having sex, and that was such a good time period of my life.
I know.
So
it's honestly because when you're not being constantly triggered by your boyfriend making you feel insecure, it's almost like you have less to prove. So you don't have to fuck as much. You know?
If you know me or if you've had sex with me, I definitely I perform like there's a loaded gun in my head and I'll get brutally murdered if I'm not doing my part. So
which the audience can debate if that's healthy or not. I don't know that's the best example.
Well, that's just how I feel. Okay, I'm being once again honest. And I'm not hiding anything.
Look, all I'll say is she might be lazy in every other department, but when it comes to being horny, she is a marathon runner, okay? She will jump hurdles to get to a dick. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it was a vagina. And Karina topped. So to end all of this, so Tiffany's crying. She's on Christina's doorstep. Meanwhile, Karina's back at this hotel room. They finish up what they were doing, and then they head back to Christina's house as well, because that's not their fucking hotel room. So Christina welcomes...
And I'm staying the night at Christina's that night, too, because... I live in Gilbert, so I don't even live... I live like 40 minutes away from Phoenix.
Right, so she couldn't...
I was not going to go in an Uber blacked out drunk at 4 a.m. By that time.
Right, with like fucking cum and fish sticks on your mouth.
I know.
So, long story short, Karina and Beth, they get back to Christina's house, and I don't think Tiffany was there anymore, right? Tiffany was somewhere.
You know what, babe? I end up seeing her, and when I saw her again, she was still crying. I gave her a hug and I said I was sorry. And then she just went back to her hotel room and slept. And she had a flight in the morning, which is even more fucked up. So I fucked up her sleeping schedule on top of it.
Oh my God.
I didn't even get a nut in either. Like, I got nothing done to me. I was the top in the situation.
Well, listen, this is the funny part. When they get back to Karina's ready for round 2. So Karina's ripping those pants off, ready to go back to town on, I don't know, I'm assuming she was re-performing some Pornhub category she's been watching, jerking off to. So basically what ends up happening is Beth is, I guess, finished getting eaten out, and then Karina just stands up and she goes, okay, so is it my turn? And Beth, knowing where Karina's vagina's been, which is on the asphalt of several different streets.
Pissing. Like a wild Rottweiler, literally on the loose. Like a stray dog. Literally.
Apparently Beth just goes, no, I'm okay. And then Karina goes, oh, okay. Pulls up her underwear and just passes it out.
But hey, I took no for an answer.
She did, you know. No is no.
Exactly, and that's just how it's always been.
Right,
so.
and so we're very proud of Karina. She took her no. She took her first L. She put the L in lesbian. And she walked, and we're proud of her for just knocking out, you know. But
I put the L in licking that night, bitch.
You don't want to know where that dog's been. My favorite part of that, too, is how stereotypically male you sounded. The fact that you just ate a girl out for like 2 hours and then you just passed out. Like, no cuddles. No.
I know. I don't know.
No breakfast in bed. You just fucking hit the sheets. Hit the hay. Karina had a good time, okay? I mean, you know, the rest of the week, I think she would have been unashamed for. I was pretty pissed, to be honest. I was angry.
I wasn't feeling that shameful.
You know, I was more just distraught with the idea of how much destruction you caused in one evening. I mean, you were Godzilla, literally terrorizing the city.
Well, I will say I did do my round of apologies that morning. Because I woke up
Queen of accountability.
Confused, and I didn't really understand until I FaceTimed you, and then you're the one who told me that I ate your friend out. And I had no idea until you said it. And then I was like, oh my God, now that you say it, I'm getting a drunk flashback. And I do remember going down on her in a bed, like spread open, everything.
So,
oh my God.
The moral of the story is Karina is officially bisexual. And although she is not currently seeking out any relationships with anybody,
with anyone,
if you or a loved one happen to know a female that you think Karina could be interested in, she does have a type and it tends to look like her.
Yeah, but then also not really.
I think she'll do it with anyone. Is that rude to say?
No,
anyone? Like literally anyone.
Not anyone, but like, I don't know, if our personalities mesh well for a little bit.
You know, and if you're hot, you're hot, you know?
Yeah, but I do typically like girls that look like me.
Right. So I mean, let's
it's a little narcissistic, but
it's okay, you know. Yeah. You're just like any gay male, you know.
I know. Not to be that bitch, but I really do think I'm a gay man stuck in this.
Rainbow, pride, Karina's gay. We need to get her a girlfriend or another boyfriend. Anyone at this point, I will take.
You know
who's just nice to her.
I should have realized it back then, but in elementary school, when Lindsay Lohan was with Samantha Ronson, I shipped that relationship so hard, and I literally was like, Samantha's cute. Like, I could totally be in a relationship like that, even though that's not a good example because they were so toxic, like so toxic.
Oh. Childhood trauma knows no gender.
Yeah. For real. But no, like, I just always shipped that relationship. So.
Well, of course you did, okay? Yeah. And anyone who's married, you ship?
No. Not really.
Okay, so long story short, Karina has the birthday party debacle. Everything went fine with that. And then that was the month of June, right? So June was a pretty crazy month for Karina, okay? I got to go to New York and visit my friend SG in July. Another sober vacation. So much fun. Still chugging along at Starbucks. I ended up no calling, no showing at my movie theater job. I quit that. It was stupid. I'm over it.
Yeah.
And then August rolls around. I get enrolled in school full time. We played a ton of Mario Party in July.
We did. We were Princess Peach and Mario, if you didn't see that.
Right. So. Our Halloween post this year. It slapped, okay?
Yes.
We should have gotten in costume today, but we just changed our mind. When did the Alexis Nyers thing, though? Maybe we could just tell that story, and that could be like our last story for today.
Well, no, I want to talk about when I saw Noah.
Okay. I was wondering if you just wanted to do that next week, and that could be the whole episode.
Okay.
Do you want to just do that?
Sure.
And then you'll be maybe a little less triggered, too. You can have more time to think about what you want to say.
Yes. Right. And I can go more into detail with receipts.
Right.
Yep. Okay.
So, basically, that was June, Gay Pride Month. Karina's gay. And
Karina's gay.
And Gayrina.
Gayrina.
She puts the K in queer. Queer with a K. And yeah.
Queer fees.
So let's touch on just the fact that also, ironically enough, you guys, within the last week, both Karina and myself got fired and then hired somewhere else. So, like true fashion.
I did get fired from my job. It was so fucked up.
Yeah, and I did officially.
I was a perfect employee for them too. I did so much for that company.
She really did, you know. She never hung up on a single customer. Unlike me, Karina was a stellar employee, okay? Absolutely nothing in common with the reason she got fired. She was outstanding. She showed up for work on time every single day, never called out. She went above and beyond time and time again for all of her customers.
Okay, Pinocchio.
So to make a long story short,
I did get caught hanging up on people, okay? I'll admit it.
But you know what? This is so far into the episode, no one's gonna find it. You're okay. And hey, you were going through a tough time, okay?
I was,
It's really hard to lay in bed all day.
It is. It really fucking is.
It's so draining to just prop your feet up. Of course I felt some resentment because I'm like, ugh, you don't even know what it feels like to have to get up every fucking day.
Yes,
I hate it.
I've had to work a job ever since I turned 16. You didn't have to work an actual job until you got out of rehab. So...
Okay. Well, in my defense, I think making coffee is harder than being a bra salesman. I won't lie. That job sounds fun. I would do that.
I loved working at Victoria's Secret.
Next week, I will go into more detail on me getting fired from Starbucks and everything that happened there. Honestly, the wounds are still kind of fresh, so I do want to save that story for another time.
But we did get rehired at different jobs, making more money at both of them.
I won't be disclosing the name of the company.
I'm not either.
Because God knows.
I know there's a few of you watching that have been dying to dox me, so I will never disclose where I'm working for shit.
I don't want to disclose either, just because I'm probably gonna quit in a month anyway. But there's just no point in talking about it. When it happens, okay? You guys always get to know when I got fired, okay? That's like my third job now I've been fired from while having the podcast.
That was the first time we both gotten fired
At the same
face-to-face
fucking
Because
time.
anytime I knew there was something going on with my job, I would just stop going.
Right. And
So-
that was the first time I didn't stop, and then I got fired to my face, and it was devastating, but I'll talk about that more next week.
It was devastating, but you FaceTimed me dying laughing in the car after it happened. So
I don't know how to feel about it. I'm still processing. Give me a week, and I'll come back and I'll tell the truth.
Yeah.
I'll tell my truth on why I was fired from Starbucks, okay?
Yeah.
I
There's
did
still
want
a
to...
lot we need to touch on, so just wait for episode 2. We'll go more into detail about certain
Right.
things.
Well,
but-
technically, it's episode 18, so but first of the second season, right. And then
True.
and then the next thing I wanted to say too was, honestly, you guys, the wall is not where we wanted to stop with our decorating, but we need your guys' help because both of us got laid off at the same time. We were trying to redecorate, but none of us had any money. So the idea we have is I'm gonna make an Amazon wish list. Imagine we need new chairs, you guys. These fucking chairs hurt. So if anyone in the audience was to buy us some new furniture, I mean,
Okay, that's tacky. None of you need to buy us furniture. Stop.
what other
That's
influencers?
tacky.
They get Amazon wish lists. Why can't we? I'm
Do
sorry.
they?
They do. People do it all
For
the
their
time.
podcast equipment?
I'm including them in the process. If you guys want to get us a chair, send them our way. I'll drop my address below. Or maybe at the least, we don't need new furniture.
Do not drop off your address. Are you fucking kidding me?
But you know what would be a cute idea? If you guys want to make us fan art and you
That
could...
would be cute if you
Right.
wanted to do fan
And
art.
we have all of this empty
Yeah.
space up here that we could put your guys' fan art on so you can
Yes.
see all of the cute drawings you've made of us. So
Yes.
just throwing some things out there,
Yes,
okay?
I love that idea.
We need new chairs and some wall art. Okay, so keep that in mind as you watch throughout the
He has
season.
no fucking shame, but yeah.
Oh my god, I'm fucking sorry I'm panhandling right now. I have an ankle surgery I have to get in 2 weeks, okay? I'm gonna
Yeah.
be down for at least a month.
Are we still gonna film?
I'm gonna try my fucking hardest to film. So, long story short, you guys, happy Halloween. Well, it's November 1st, so Halloween's over. Put the costumes away. It's time for Christmas. And yeah, be on the fucking lookout for our next episodes because we've got a ton of crazy stuff to talk about with you guys, and we're not stopping here. So if you liked this video and you've never watched us before, my name is Sam Merpy Cook. This is Karina James Hefner. What?
James.
Hefner? Oh, Karina Hefner, and
Yeah.
you are watching the Anxious Podcast.
Thank you, Queefies. We love you.
We love you. And follow us on all of our social media, linked down below.
Also, we love when you guys post screenshots of you listening to the podcast and tagging us in your Instagram stories. So
Right.
continue to do so.
because it makes us feel good, and we
Yes.
don't lose motivation to keep going. So, all right.
We will be posting every Tuesday again.
We're gonna try every Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were consistent when we
We were.
first did
We
the
were.
podcast. Don't forget.
My new training schedule, I don't have Tuesdays off though.
I don't know what my schedule is gonna look like either.
We'll
so-
try and always post them on Tuesdays. We might not be filming on Tuesdays. Let's just put it at that.
Okay.
We might film like on Sundays.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever day works
'Cause
best.
I have
for us,
weekends
as
off.
long as we post on Tuesdays.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Good, babe.
Okay. All right. And I'm signing off.
Bye.
Bye.
See you in
Okay.
November. And Scorpions.
Yeah.